Who you got to win the NBA Finals? Because I know who I got to win the NBA Finals. But do you know who you got to win?
Who you got since you so
You
confident and all that?
know.
You all sticking your chest out
You
with
know,
me.
yeah. You know who I already got. That boy from the Lou. Who you got for game 3?
Game 3, I mean, the way that it's been going, like every time Boston lose, they bounce back. Golden State going into the Garden, they definitely gonna have to hit first and try and silence that Boston crowd. Presented by Visible. Yo, we live on location. Me and the Blackest One right here at the crib in Orlando. We coming to you with a special NBA Finals recap edition of the Knuckleheads. We here. We got Verizon. We visible with Verizon way out here in Orlando. We got the towers taking us everywhere, ain't it?
Everywhere.
Today we get into the Boston Celtics.
Golden State Warriors.
1-1 in the series. They out in the San Francisco, head to Boston. But the first 2 games, they 1-1. What you seeing going on out there?
I think the Celtics came down there and did what they needed to do. Got them one. I think Golden State got some momentum, and I think they look forward to playing them game 3 in Boston. So I think both teams left from San Francisco feeling a little bit good about themselves.
Do you think, because a lot of people say the Celtics kind of lucked up with the game 1 because Golden State basically led the whole game. That fourth quarter 14-0 run came and wiped everything out, but they kind of saying if you take away that fourth quarter, Golden State up 7-1.
Yeah, you could say that, but, some people get punched in the mouth first and say they won the fight after that. So, yeah, I think the Celtics just came in and handled business. It's about getting the game. I don't care how the game looked, how it came out. You always get a superstar in the game or somebody that you didn't think was going to get a game for you, and that's what championship teams need. It's been a history of it where guys, they're not the superstar players, but they came big and put up big numbers in the finals for a team and got them a win.
I tell you what's been impressive to me about what the Celtics was able to do going out there. They're a young team, got no NBA Finals experience, 0 games played on their roster. But they went out there and they took that, I think Ime coached them up and had a great game plan as far as defensively. And the way that they came out, I think, especially game 1, obviously game 2 got away from them, but game 1, for them to show up in their first taste at the NBA Finals on that stage and they, defensively perform the way they did, that was, you know what I'm saying? They was out there switching, they brought that physicality, and I think they caught Golden State. I don't think they were ready for that type of tenacity and physicality they brought. Obviously, they got calibrated and came back for game 2, but that game 1, that defensive approach was extremely impressive. What'd you think of that?
Man, the whole playoffs for them been up, down, around the corner, like how they done pulled off games, the series they've been playing against, from playing them to KD to Greek and then playing Miami. I feel like they've been up and down in series like this, and they ready for a dogfight, and I feel like them coming into game 1 really showed what they just went through the whole Eastern Conference to come in and get them one, you know what I'm saying, right away. So I feel like they in a good position, so they'll be good.
I feel like what the Warriors were able to do in game 2, I was severely impressed with Draymond. I feel like, his stats, they are what they are, but he did a lot of things that don't show up in the stat book. I feel like he took the mystique and he took the attitude like, all right, I'm about to be the junkyard dog out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to talk my talk. I'm about to let people know, but I'm about to junk this game up and I'm going to impact this game from a physicality point. I'm going to frustrate. He was into it with some of everybody, from Tatum to Brown.
Talking to everybody, the whole Celtics team.
Yeah.
From the coach
Grant
all the way
Williams,
down to the player.
Yeah, and I think, him doing that brought the energy of his team, because when somebody, how it is we former players, if we out there and we in a battle and one of our guys start sticking his deck out there, that means all of us got to step up for him. We got to win this game when he running his mouth like that. And I think his energy and the way he played, I mean, he definitely told that line, you know what I'm saying? But I agree with, what JVG and those guys were saying on the telecast, that if he doesn't play like that, that's how he maximizes himself. That's why Draymond Green is who he is, because he takes it to the edge of the line. Every now and again he may go over, but he didn't get ejected no matter what anybody say. He was still available for his team, and he impacted his team with all of that he brought to the table. And his numbers don't speak as loudly as what he did. Then defensively, you seen how he was going out there taking that challenge, running up in Jaylen Brown or whoever it was, whether it was Tatum or them. I think that from a leading by example standpoint, as well as obviously vocally, I think he changed the game for them in game 2.
Yeah, I think he set the tone. Like he definitely showed his team, and he showed the Celtics that they are here, and you know what I'm saying, they are doing what they're supposed to do, and they want to get a win right away. And I think that riled up everybody else. I think they've been trying to get Clay involved a whole lot, and I feel like they left him in a little bit late because they just want him to see a rhythm and try to be prepared to go to Boston. I think it's a tricky series. I think both of them are matched up well. I feel like, they can go either way. I feel like we got a barn burner that's finna go down. And I just love the matchups. I want to see how the Celtics respond to Draymond being that way towards them, you know what I'm saying, or engaging towards them, or just Draymond didn't even let Jaylen Brown touch him.
Yeah.
On defense, like just little petty stuff like this. So I just want to see how they respond. I want to see how Ime just get their head clear on, like, hey, should we engage with him, or should we be with the bullshit with him too?
I'm trying to figure out what was the biggest difference from game 1 to game 2 with Al Horford. I mean, nobody expected him to, the 26 points in game 1 was like, whoa, that was crazy, but I didn't expect it to go from 26 to 2. Like, what did you see out of him that was so different, or did Golden State do something different with him defensively that just took him out of the game like that?
They see him. They see him now. I feel like that first game, he had a lot of wide open threes. They rotation was kind of leaving Al Horford open, and he just hit all his threes. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of his dives to the basket was clean dives to the basket, because he's coming off being open from the 3-point line and then diving from the basket in a straight line of being open, and he can get them little drop offs. I feel like game 2, it was like, nah, we see you.
Yeah.
We see you. Nah, the rotation is to him. We rotating to him. We coming all the way around. If Al Horford is the next man, everybody just rotate to him. Don't leave him alone. And I feel like that was really one of the big differences. And when he was diving, you had them guards with them hands all in there swiping and all that, and a lot of turnovers. He didn't hold on to the ball. He didn't take advantage when he did have Steph or a couple of guys in the post, smaller guys in the post. It just got sloppy out there for them. Like the turnovers that they was making, Jay Tatum and like all of them, just like a lot of just like careless movements with the ball, and I know they don't try to correct that for game 3.
Yeah, you heard Ime talking about that, after halftime, and obviously after the game 2, saying how the turnovers hurt him. But talking about our young boy Jay Tatum, like game 1, struggled shooting the ball, had 13 assists, which was a high for anybody coming to their first finals game, which was outstanding. That's a step he's taking this year, being a playmaker and facilitator and being able to get other guys open, driving the ball and doing different things. Game 2, I felt like, he was into his bag, but the turnovers are still killing them. And I felt like that was the biggest part of his game. Well, that and then settling. It was the turnovers he had, but then settling. I felt like even in his confidence and being in his bag, he can get to easier shots when he got Jordan Poole, Steph, or some of those smaller guys over. Now, he was cooking, so he was able to, hit the step back and make 3-point shots over him. But a lot of those 2-pointers were tougher than they had to be, in my opinion. What do you think you seen from young fella he need to get better at?
I think game 1, me been watching him, I feel like that was one of the best game, if not the best game I ever seen him play. Because for him not to be scoring the way he usually score, to get 13 assists and still be engaged in the game and still be present in the game, outside of you shooting bad and y'all win that game, that was like one of the best games I ever seen him play. I thought that was a real chess game type game for him that he needed to have in his career so he can see another side of it. Game 2, I felt like he definitely was in his bag. He was ready to go. It definitely wasn't going to be another, you know what I'm saying, bad shooting night. But I feel like just the team overall, just with the turnovers, it kind of took a lot away from his rhythm when he was catching the rhythm during the game. And I feel like he needs to know when to take his time. I feel like he's the only player on both teams that can take his time. This is an era where everybody get the ball and they instantly going and bop, 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 and just dribble this and come off screens and chase this. But he's one of them generational players that he can slow it down. I'm finna get you right here where I want you on this mid post and get a bucket on you. Sometimes he need to slow it down and see the double team and pass out to the right open man. Sometimes he need to get in and go ahead and go get into his rhythm and go ahead and get a bucket. And I feel like he needs to start seeing that. And once he start really seeing rotations and they kind of slow it down and he pay attention to it, he'll be all right. I feel like he'll be a key factor. He's the only player to me that can slow down the game, that I can get you on the spot and get with you without being on the all the way on the perimeter and using the screen to do it like everybody else is.
I feel like Steph feels like they can't stop him. Like just the way he, you know what I'm saying, from looking at game 1, game 2, you know, game 1 he jumped out 21 in the first quarter. You know, next game he don't do the same thing in the first quarter, but he get going. He turned ultra hot and, you know, go on his own individual run. He's seen everything at this point. I think, you know, Steph doesn't get enough credit for, you know, how strong he's gotten. Me and you done talked about it a bunch of times, how much, like, when we went down there to holler at KD, we saw him, and he was going in the weight room after the game, and we was looking at him, and you said, and look how, like, yeah, he got bigger. And so, like, you know, I think he's seen everything, you know, from the time he's become, you know, this supernova, super duper star. He's seen all type of defense. You know, they've thrown everything at him. And I think he's every year going home in the offseason and trained and did different things to try and combat that. And I think you seeing the fruits of those labors. Like they had Andrew Wiggins bringing the ball up the court half the game to start off because they wanted him to not be pressured up and be doing all that. He coming off, he running, then he'll bring it up and he's shooting from the hash, bro. Yeah. Like when he, like, you know what I'm saying? They like, he had Tyson's in the drop, but he had the 3.
Yeah.
He at the 3. Like the man stopped at the hash mark and shot and like literally just casually just like when he's playing like this, and I think he's playing at this level, and I don't think it's to prove anything. I think he wants to win. He's doing what his team needs to win, but I think in doing that, he's proven like all of that talk, everything he's saying about him not getting the MVP, like, bro, he's playing with KD. You know what I'm saying? KD was going nuts, and KD is who he is and do what he do. So, you know, when you got somebody like that going and you want to win, you doing what you got to do to win a championship. Yeah. You're not thinking about trying to out-compete your teammate for an award when y'all about to win the biggest award.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him, you know what I'm saying, in these first 2 games, and what has he got you thinking?
Win, lose, or draw, I feel like he got to do what he supposed to do. Whether his team win, whether his team lose or draw, whether his team have a good game, whether they have a bad game, he got to show up every single game. And I think like he knows that. He know the pressure he got to put. He can't stop attacking. He can't stop being aggressive. He got to be aggressive 7 games if it goes 7 games for them to have any type of chance of winning these NBA finals. And if he have a bad game or a slower game, if you have a decent game, it's hard for them to beat anybody if nobody else, if you don't know where you're gonna get the consistency of it at. Clay, this is first year back. Whatever he's giving right now is a plus on the board to me from what he's been through these last 2 years.
The thing for me about Clay is that he's scary. Like, if I'm playing with or against him, just from what he's shown me, like, even if I'm a Celtics player or a coach, like, fan, anything, in the back of my mind, I'm dreading anytime he make any shot.
Yeah.
I don't care if he 1 for 10, 1 for 15, if he makes a shot, he's one of them dudes that he's got that ability to where he see one go in and it's good night.
Yeah.
He can just get hot and everything turns. So, like, like you say, for me, like you said, this is his first year back. Just him being out there as healthy as he is a plus. And whatever he gives you, you see how he changed when he make a shot, how the crowd go crazy, how the team get hyped, how all of that different stuff happens. So him being there and whatever he gives you, like you said, is gonna be gravy train.
Yeah.
Hey, how dope was it to see GP the second, you know what I'm saying, get back out there after what he went through with the elbow injury earlier in the Memphis series, and he got the chance to, you know, be out there and he impacted the game, played well. When it was, you know, when it was close, obviously he made some contributing plays, and then obviously he balled out, then it was a blowout. But it was just good to see him, you know, get back out there and return, because all of the stuff he been through, being, you know, 6-7 years going through the G League, in and out, being waived, and then finally get on the team and lock in, and you get a stupid injury like that from a crazy play. So how was that for you, seeing GP the second, little nephew, back out there?
Oh man, I was happy for GP. Man, he played well. You can tell it was a little jittery, you know, first starting off, and then his first time really touching the rock, he had an open layup. You can tell he really went right. But once he kind of sunk in on defense and started just really hitting bodies and touching and switching and getting involved in the game, man, he gave them a lot of energy with Draymond on their defense when the game was close, when they was fighting early on. And I'm excited to see him in the rest of the series, because that's another key piece that they got back, that they can throw another body on Tatum or Brown.
Yeah, especially with Iguodala not playing. He played game one, not play last night. But then it was dope, you know, from the standpoint, GP, big GP, and was in the crowd, his mom, his sister, he had family there. And then, you know, it's out there in the Bay that where GP from. So it was like, that was just dope to see, you know, that whole thing. And GP had the dope shirt on. Had a shirt on with the younger version of himself, the glove being guarded by his son. I thought that was fly.
Yeah, no, it's always, man, for especially like for Unc, man, somebody we admire so much, man, to see his son just out there in the finals, and his daddy has been in the finals, and he's at the crib. Like, man, that's family history right there, man. They gonna talk about that forever in their family. So,
and he got to do an interview after the game up on the set with the guys. That was hard. That's something you ain't gonna never forget right there.
Never. That's dope.
What I want to ask you is, should Draymond have been ejected? Should he have been called for that second technical in the little dust up with Jaylen Brown?
In my era, no. In this era, yeah. You know, I feel like he did a lot in that situation where he shouldn't have did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He put his foot on his head. He pushed him in the back. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed his shorts when he got up. He wasn't really trying to do nothing to him or nothing like that. But I love his aggression. I love everything about Draymond. I feel like he's the heart of their team. I love he talked to every last one of the Celtics players, the coaches. I love the energy that he brought his team and the feistiness that he brings his team every bit of the way. I love it. Like as much as I just said about, like, yeah, he did this and that, I love it from him.
Listen, I'm with you. I love it, but I'm also with the Mark Jacksons of the world when he was, you know, you listen to the broadcast and he like, yo, Draymond 100% has to be who he is, but he can't put himself in that position. Like, once you got the one, we were sitting there watching it together. I was legit, like you say, in this generation, this era, I was legit nervous. Like, man, they might throw him out. Like, when you see the little push, you see the little shorts, but I'm like, look, they might give him a second tech. You don't know. Like, but so I'm just saying, like, for me, you know, I talk my crap too. So I ain't got my fair share of techs, but like, once you get in that position and you on that stage, and you done been in a position where you done had that happen where you was unavailable and your team lost. You can't never put yourself in that position again. You still walk the line. You still be who you going to be. But once you get that technical, you can't get in no more shove and pushing match. Because, like, you got to think, they might be trying to, like, if I'm the Celtics and we playing again in Game 3 and Draymond get into it, he get his first technical that early, if I'm one of them players, Grant Williams and Jaylen Brown, like, I'm going to force the issue and make us both get a double tech where you just go.
Yeah, he can't take that. He gonna get hot because, Yeah, cause he into it. He emotionally into it. He love this stuff so much that he emotionally
He wired that way.
He wired that way, and that's what I love about him. He getting his team hype. He getting his team rowdy. I'm talking about he getting his team ready to go. They feel like they can run through a brick wall when you got a player like that just out there just into it like that. The way he was playing defense out there, the way he was rushing up on guys. I feel like he did a great job.
One of the best things I like about this series, like how both teams got the ability to, to go on these streaks, like 14-0 runs, 20-something runs from the Warriors. Like, I think this is why I feel like it's going to be like a back and forth 6-7 game series for sure, because you got those ebbs and flows where Boston going to lock in and make it tough, you know what I'm saying, for Golden State to score. Then you got Golden State going to heat up and make however many buckets in a row and try and open the game up. Where do you see that falling in the midst of the whole series playing out?
I want to see this adjustment in Boston, because it's not guaranteed that Boston play as great as basketball in Boston. These playoffs, they've been playing on the road and getting big wins on the road, and a lot of teams been coming to Boston and getting big wins on them. So I kind of want to see what they're going to try to do with this home court advantage in Boston and Golden State. I just want to continue to see what Steph brings to the table. I want to continue to see what he brings to the table and see if the rest of the team give him anything, because that's what it's looking like for them. It's like Steph is getting his regardless of what you're doing. And if Clay and Jordan Poole.
Has Poole showed up, though? Does that mean he's kind of entered the series now? Because game one, he was kind of, not really himself.
He had a lot of threes, a lot of big shots last night, but I still feel like his rhythm is still a little bit off. I seen a lot of turnovers from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I seen a lot of turnovers from him. I think he need to just engage and just slow it down a little bit too. It's looking real fast paced. It's looking so. And I guess it's looking like that because how you see the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? You see them like, because everything is on the line, so a turnover mean everything right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a turnover mean everything right now in every possession. So, the turnovers just looking at a little bit extra right now. So just on both teams, just stop turning the ball over.
I like, the other thing I like is the chess match between the two coaches. I think, Steve Kerr, obviously, championship DNA player, now championship coach, probably going to be, in the Hall of Fame as a coach in the future. But Ime, our former teammate, former player, rookie in this joint as a head coach, then turn this whole thing around, like from All-Star break, got the best record, number one defense in the league, and just the way that they've been making adjustments, like, Ime coming in with a hell of a game plan for game one, Steve Kerr coming back and making his adjustment. Now, what is Ime going to do, and what type of move is he going to make for game three?
Let me ask you this. What adjustments would you make if you was both coaches going into game three against both teams? What adjustment defensively would you make?
If I'm Ime, all bets is off. I'm jumping Steph. When he come into, because if you noticed last night, the Warriors didn't stay in their normal ball movement offense. They kind of went pick and roll. I'm taking the ball out of Steph's hand.
But if you jump Steph, I
got to deal with
you wake the whole
That's
engine
cool.
up.
That's cool. Listen, right now, through 2 games, the rest of the engines ain't been killing me like Steph has.
Yeah.
Number one priority is stop Steph Curry. That's my number one goal for if I'm Boston. Like, if somebody else start to destroy me and kill me, we got to deal with that. But like, the first hole to plug is him. Mm-hmm. He is the everything. Mm-hmm. He the head of the snake. We got to get the ball out of his hand. If they start playing that pick and roll, I'm jumping him. I'm gonna blitz him and get the ball out of his hand. He got to kick to somebody else. And when we get out of his hand, don't let him get it back. Marcus Smart and them dudes is tough and physical, but like, he's been able to do way more than I thought he was gonna be allowed to do through 2 games. Mm-hmm. And then if you Boston, you gotta if you the Warriors, listen, you gotta keep running, and you don't want them to like, because I don't know how Robert Williams is going to be. I don't know if he's going to be available or if he's going to be hurt, because if he's not available, then you can try and put pressure on the rim more. And then I feel like doing that's going to open up their outside shooting. If you get Wiggins driving, if you get Clay and those guys driving to the hole, and they don't have Robert Williams down there, it's Al Horford and Williams and other guys, then that puts people in rotation. You got to help. Because Robert Williams, Time Lord down there, SWAT patrol. He down there beating stuff up, and you kind of got some leniency, like, okay, you guarding the perimeter, you get beat, he back there is different. When he not back there, it's about to be a layup.
I think the Celtics defensively, I'm with the whole blitzing stuff. I love how they switch. So I would probably just blitz when it's Robert Williams or when it's Hartford. Mm-hmm. And them be the only two people that, hey, if Steph come off on y'all and y'all man screening, y'all blitz. So our rotation can be faster and stronger. I think that's the only adjustment that I make defensively with them, just to see how that work. The Warriors with Boston, I feel like they did a great job last game of being physical, hands everywhere, rebounding, everybody coming in, boxing out. I feel like they did a good job of all that. So I would say stick to what they did last game. Just be physical, be present.
Yeah, Golden State, like you say, going into the Garden, they definitely gonna have to hit first and try and silence that Boston crowd and keep them runs to a minimum, because it's gonna get, if they get rocking in there, that's gonna bring some, they bring a different type of energy to they team than those Celtics crowds. Everybody know what that do. I'm not disrespecting the Bay, but we know what that Boston Garden be like too.
What you think about the 2 6 men coming off the bench? White and Poole coming off the bench and giving both teams energy. Who you think been giving the most off the bench so far? Who you think's playing the best?
I think Derek White, since his addition to the team was a huge pickup when they got him at whatever point they got him out. I had liked him previously when he was in San Antonio. And I think, as far as this finals go right now, I think between he and Jordan Poole, outside of last night, Jordan Poole had a cool game, 17 points, but Derek White, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively in both games, I think he's had the better series thus far in 2 games. But you look at some of the defensive plays he's made on Steph. He was one of the guys that was not having a double team, but guarding him straight up and getting a block on the ball, getting steals and pressing up on him and just making it tough. Nobody's gonna stop or shut down Steph Curry, but if you playing him man up and you doing that well of a job on him and making it tough and really making him have to work, that's all you can ask for from a coaching standpoint. So I think if I had to choose which one's had the better series thus far through 2 games, I would say Derek White. But I think that game last night could be an indicator that Jordan Poole is like, hey, I'm all right now. I'm here. I'm in the series. Game 1 was maybe he had some jitters or whatever it may be. Finals biggest moment ever. But I think he showed that he was in the series last night. Boy, hitting half quarters and cashing out.
Yeah, I definitely think White, both games, his presence definitely been there. He's been hitting big shots. Every time they leave him open for 3, he been playing tough and hard on defense, not only on everybody else, but specifically Steph. Even though Steph is killing every game, he's just making it tough for him and making him earn everything he get. Poole, I think Poole might have woke up a little bit last night, but I think going into Boston, man, you're in foreign territory, so we got to see what Poole gonna bring to the table when he's down there.
With all eyes on Steph and Tatum, who's going to be the guys that step up and be the other part of the 1-2 punch for each team in this series?
I think Klay Thompson is going to come in Boston. I feel like he definitely he's a role guy. He's a role warrior. I think Klay Thompson is going to finally step up in Boston. I think Al Horford is going to have a better game than what he had in game 2. I think he's going to be the guy to step up.
I'm taking Brown. Jaylen Brown. I feel like if Boston is to win, that he has to be the next best guy. He has to come. If Tatum's going to get you 30, he got to get 27, 28, if not 32, for them to have a legit chance to really win. And for the Warriors, I'm
You going to the pool?
Man, I don't want to go. I'm gonna surprise you because I like Poole. I love Clay, but I think Wiggins is their X factor because I feel like Clay and Poole are gonna get you to somewhere in the teens. I feel like they're gonna get you somewhere in the teens. But I feel like if Wiggins comes and he gets if he's impactful on that defensive side of the ball and he could go get you 17 to 20 points and get some of them offensive rebounds and stuff, like that's like the gravy train right there. Cause I feel like they rely and depend on Steph, Clay, and Poole. But when you get that Wiggins in there, like that's all right. Now that was we wasn't expecting that. So I'm gonna choose Wig.
Who you got to win the NBA Finals? Because I know who I got to win the NBA Finals. But do you know who you got to win?
I do not know who I got to win. You know who I would like to win. I'm little Jay Tatum. That's little bro. We want to see him get that chip, get that ring. But I can't definitively say that I know that they are going to win it. That's just me being honest. This is a evenly, highly contested series that I think is going to go back and forth.
It ain't about what you know. It's about who you think.
I just told you. I don't know who I think is going to win. I think it's going to go tit for tat all the way to Game 7. And Game 7, that's a toss-up. Anything can happen. I want young Tatum to win. I get that's the little bro. The Warriors, I like all of them, but they got a few rings of their own. I want to see little Tatum win one. So, that's a little bro.
Yeah. Well, me.
Who you got since you so confident in all that? You all sticking your chest out with me.
Yeah. You know who I already got, that boy from the Lou. But, yeah, I'm going with the Celtics, man. I love the Warriors and love their style, the way they play. Love Draymond Green, love all of them. But, man, I think, man, it's time for the new school to come on in the door. And I think Jason Tatum is leading the way. And he gonna get him one real early.
You rolling with the home time.
We gonna change up what people say about the whole list of the top 10 now.